Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Michael, you're watching IDB, and right now I have iOS 18 installing on my iPhone, and I am very excited to show you everything new in this update. So let's go ahead, roll the intro, and jump right in. So here is iOS 18. It is now installed and set up on my iPhone, and the first thing I want to show you are some of the new home screen customization options. So if we press and hold on the screen, you see that we have an edit button here on the top left. If we press this, you can see we can add a widget or customize our home screen. So if we click on customize, you can see we have some options here for our app icons. So what's really cool is that you can choose automatic, and this way you're able to change the look of your app icons based on light or dark mode. So if you choose automatic, it's gonna stay as it is right now because I am in light mode. You can choose just to change all of your icons to a dark look like this. And this is almost kind of crazy seeing this on a normal non-jailbroken iPhone. It looks a little bit crazy, a little bit of getting used to, I think. But it definitely is nice that we can darken up our icons a bit to better go along with the theme when you are in dark mode. We can also have our normal icons that we're used to. I think this is just what most people are going to do. And then we also have it tinted. So we can choose a specific color like this. And I honestly don't know how I feel about this. If you want to have neon green icons like this, be my guest. I don't think that many people are going to do it, but I could be proven wrong. I think a lot of people might match their wallpaper to the color of their icons, which is pretty cool. But for now, I think I'm just gonna stick with the normal icons. You also can see at the bottom, we have the option to make our icons large, which is going to do something which a lot of people have been requesting for a very long time, which is remove the labels from the home screen. So now, as you can see, the home screen looks a lot more clean. And I think this is how I'm gonna rock my iPhone from now on without any of the labels, because I know what every single app is. And then also in iOS 18, one of the major features is we are able to move our applications anywhere. So if we go into edit mode, I'll pick up this random application and I'm able to place it at the very bottom just like this. And you can see it can go in any order. So let's give myself some space. I'll remove this widget and then I'll put this over here. And you can see I can move this app all the way over here and I can still have this app on the far right. So you can make pretty much any positioning you want. There is no more grid system on iOS. You can place your widgets and your applications anywhere, finally. And then another really awesome thing in iOS 18 is you are able to turn any application on your home screen directly into a widget. So if I press and hold on the clock icon, you can see that we have this widget button right here. If I click on this, you can see it is now going to morph into a widget just like that. And you can see the software is a little bit glitchy, as you can see there, but it definitely is a bit of a trip seeing my icons everywhere on the home screen. It sort of feels like my iPhone is jailbroken, but these are the new updates we can do to the home screen in iOS 18. And now I want to talk about Control Center, because as you can see, Control Center has been completely redesigned and it is now completely customizable. So first up, you can just see that the UI looks a little bit different. It is a bit more rounded and a bit more soft looking. We have the option to scroll through our options. This sort of reminds me of iOS 10, except that Control Center was horizontal swiping. This is vertical swiping. So here at the top, we have our favorites. And if we press and hold, you can see we have an option to add a control. So I'll click like this, and then let's just add the screen recording widget right here. And then you'll see at the bottom of every control, we have a grabber, and I'm able to make each control bigger. So say for example, I want to make the screen recording one bigger. All I have to do is grab it and I can make it wider just like that. And you can see we get a little bit more information there inside of Control Center. So you can arrange this exactly however you want. I can move my volume over here and you can just place anything anywhere, which is fantastic and also reminiscent of the home screen updates we got in iOS 18 as well. Another awesome thing about Control Center that Apple has highlighted is you're able to get to any page in Control Center with one swipe without taking your finger off the screen. So if I swipe like this and then keep swiping, you can see I'm able to go between all of my pages without lifting my finger off the display. And then another major feature in iOS 18, this one has been requested a ton, is now the ability to change the toggles on your lock screen. So first off, you can just see that the icons look a little bit different as is in iOS 18. However, if we press and hold, then click on Customize, then click on Lock Screen, you can see we can now actually change these toggles, which is awesome. So I think I'm gonna keep a flashlight right there, but I usually use my action button for the camera. So let's go ahead and just replace this. I'll change it from camera, And I don't know if we have any third-party applications in here just yet, so I'm gonna pick a random one. Let's say wallet, then I'll click on done. Now when I go to my lock screen, you can see I have a quick shortcut to my wallet that I can access just like that. It doesn't look like it's working. Again, this is in beta. So it looks like it is completely non-functional, but it is going to be working when iOS 18 comes out to the public. Like I said, this is a beta. It's very buggy. Install at your own risk, but we will have the option to change our toggles once Apple can obviously fix all of the bugs. Another feature in iOS 18 is now the ability to lock an application, finally. So you're kind of getting a theme. All of the new features have been highly requested from users over the years. So all you have to do to lock an application is press and hold on it, and then click on the Require Face ID button. If you click on this, it is now enabled. Once you click on Require Face ID, I'll authenticate with my face. And now every time I try to open up podcasts, it is going to require my passcode or Face ID. Another security feature in iOS 18 is the ability to hide applications. If I go over here to my app library and scroll all the way down, you can see that we have a hidden folder. If I click on it, it'll scan Face ID and there's nothing in there. However, I don't know if it's because it's a beta or I just can't figure it out, but I cannot figure out how to hide an application. I can see remove app, edit home screen, require Face ID, but I cannot find a hide application button. So if you have this installed on your phone, let me know in the comments if I'm missing something. But again, when iOS 18 does come out to the public, you will have the ability to hide an application. And iOS 18 also has a pretty nice security update, which allows you to choose which contacts applications can see. So sometimes when you're installing an application, you know that prompt you get that pops up that says this app would like to access your contacts. The only option was don't allow or allow. But now in iOS 18, you're able to choose exactly what contacts that application has access to. And then another cool security feature in iOS 18 has to do with Bluetooth and accessories. So you know when you're pairing something and the application asks if they can access all of your network, well, that doesn't really make sense because, for example, if you're trying to pair whatever this is, a hair dryer, it doesn't need to access your Wi-Fi and all of your Bluetooth. So now when you have a compatible app, you're able to simply set up that accessory without giving that app full access to your network settings. And then another thing that Apple mentioned at the event is something called gaming mode. So with game mode enabled, it's going to minimize background activity and also improve responsiveness with accessories such as game controllers and headphones. So if you are an avid gamer, game mode on iOS 18 is going to be a great new feature. And then we're moving right along, but I did forget something in the previous section, so I quickly want to mention it. Control Center is now going to support third-party applications. So when I go here into Edit and then add a control, there is going to be a Control Center API. So you could essentially have a Tesla widget and you could start your car right from a Control Center, which is really cool. So now let's get to all of the changes inside of iMessage because this is pretty fun. So the first one is we have an all new design for tapbacks. So if I go and do a tapback on this message, you can see that they look a little bit different with a lot more color, which is a little bit more playful and just makes the UI look a little bit better. And we can also choose a custom emoji for a tapback. So if I click on this, you can see I can respond with this emoji, and you can now give a lot more life to your tapback responses. And then another really cool feature in iOS 18 I want to show you is the ability to schedule an iMessage. You can see here I've scheduled one already. It says send later, tomorrow at 7 a.m. So I'll show you how you can do this. Type out your message and then click on the plus icon, then scroll and then click on send later. Here you can choose whatever date and time you want to send that message and then go ahead and send it. And now as you can see, it is now scheduled for that time. So this is going to come in very, very handy for a lot of people. And iMessage in iOS 18 also supports text formatting. So if you click on your text, then scroll to the right and click on text effects, you can see we're able to bold, italicize, underline, or strike through your text. You can also have text effects. So we have big, small, shake, nod, ripple, explode, bloom, and jitter. I think my favorite one is either nod or explode. So let's click on this one and see how it looks. Then I'll click on send. And you can see it kind of explodes like that. So it just gives your iMessage a bit more expressiveness and it makes sending messages a bit more fun. And some other really great features coming to iMessage in iOS 18 include messages via satellite. So this is really cool. So if you remember way back to the iPhone 14 series, Apple introduced emergency SOS via satellite. Now we're actually able seeing some But now we're actually seeing some user features thanks to these really cool satellite connected iPhones. So if we are out of cell service, we're actually able to use the satellite connection on our iPhone to send and receive iMessages and also text messages, which is really, really cool. And also, finally, in iOS 18, it is going to support RCS, which is going to make messaging your green bubble Android friends a lot more seamless. And in iOS 18, the Mail app was supposed to be redesigned. However, I opened it and it looks exactly the same as iOS 17. So I'll just throw up a screenshot on your screen. So I'll just put up a screenshot right now of what it's supposed to look like. I guess when iOS 18 comes out in the fall, we are gonna get the redesigned Mail application. Another update is for the Maps application. I do believe that this is only for the United States, but we are finally getting topographic maps for the iPhone. The reason I say finally is because Apple included this with watchOS 10 last year. No idea why they didn't bring it to the iPhone the same year, but now we have topographic, way more detailed maps for the iPhone, and I do believe that it is only going to start in the US. And then another feature which is not available to me because Apple Pay Cash is not available in Canada is what Apple is calling tap to cash. So all you have to do is simply set up Apple Pay Cash on your iPhone. If you want to send money, all you have to do is hover your iPhone over your friend's iPhone to send money. So it's pretty much Venmo, but a lot better done the Apple way. I think this is going to be very, very popular, and I'm crossing my fingers that Apple can bring this feature to Canada because I would love to use it. And another feature coming to the Wallet app in iOS 18 is redesigned event cards. So if you're going to a soccer game, football game, hockey game, whatever, you're gonna see a lot better looking ticket. And we're also gonna have buttons at the bottom of these tickets. So here you can see that we have a button to open a map view of the stadium. We can also get an event guide at the bottom right here, along with some really nice imagery at the top. And then also another change in iOS 18 is the Photos app. So I honestly don't know how to feel about this. I think I honestly liked the iOS 17 design better than this. This just kind of feels cluttered. I liked how simple it was in iOS 17 with the tab bar at the bottom, but let me know what you think. Pretty much everything can be found on this homepage by swiping. So if you want to swipe to the right or swipe to the left, or if you want to swipe down, everything is going to be found like this instead of using the tabs at the bottom. Again, I don't think I like this, but let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Something that is nice though is that we're able to customize our view. So you can see here, if we go far to the right enough, you can see we have a customize button. And if you click on this, you can see what types of photos that you are going to be shown by the application. I just feel like it's a little bit convoluted. I don't really understand how it works. Maybe that's just because I haven't used it for long enough, but let me know your thoughts on the new Photos app in the comments below. So now to wrap things up, I just have a miscellaneous section of some various changes I want to show you. First up is we have a slight redesign for the calendar application. You can see at the top it is now showing our day. We also have a bit more information for all of our events. You can see we get the exact time inside of there. And something else that's really nice is we actually have reminders built in to the calendar, which I love. So I did a test reminder in the reminders application, and it took a little bit of time because it was glitching out, but it finally did show up. So you can see I do have that reminder inside of my calendar. And if I click on it, you can see I can actually check off that reminder right from the calendar app, which is nice. And another major change is something that took everybody by surprise, and this is probably one of my favorite new features in iOS 18, and it is the changes to the calculator app. I know, kind of surprising. First up is we have a new button here on the bottom left, and if we click on this, we can go from basic to scientific, so we no longer have to rotate the iPhone to get a scientific calculator. We also have math notes, which is really, really cool. I'll show you how this works. If you click on new, and then I'll just use my finger because it's a lot easier, we can do like 2 times 6 equals, and you can see it's going to input the answer. So what's really cool is Apple is using AI, and they're gonna put the answer in handwriting that it thinks your handwriting is going to look like. I know it's kind of crazy, but it really is feeling like the future on iOS now. Let's do something a little harder. Let's do 211 times 36. And even though my multiplication sign was bad there, I do think it is still going to get it, as you can see there. And it's crazy how it puts it in natural looking handwriting that it thinks my handwriting is going to look like. This is really crazy, and Apple also finally brought the calculator app to the iPad, and this feature only gets better when you use it on the iPad with the Apple Pencil. And then finally, one more thing to mention for the calculator is we also now have a history section, so you can go back and see all of the history of conversions and calculations that you've made. Another thing I want to mention is we have an all-new application called Passwords. You can see the icon right here. So Passwords no longer live inside of Settings. It is now a dedicated application, which I love. And then speaking of settings, settings has actually been completely reorganized, as you can see here. So I don't want to do a complete side-by-side comparison because that would take forever, but just a few small things. You can see that battery now lives at the very top, and then it's a lot shorter to scroll down. So right now on your iPhone, if you open up iOS 17 and scroll to the bottom of settings, it's probably a very long list, but here in iOS 18, it looks like it is a lot more concise, and Apple has organized it a lot better. If we click on general, you can see it looks a little bit different as well. So I think this overhaul to settings is definitely needed on the iPhone, as it was getting quite convoluted in iOS 17. And then as we do with every major iOS update, I always like to check for a new wallpaper. So let's go here and add a new wallpaper, scroll down. And yes, it looks like Apple has added a new wallpaper pack for iOS 18. We have 4 of them, and let me know which one of these is your favorite in the comments down below. And I just want to cover 2 more features because it just blew me away in the event. So the first one is we now get voice isolation with AirPods Pro. So that feature was previously only reserved for when you were using your iPhone with no headphones. Like say for example, you're on a FaceTime call or a phone call, your iPhone could isolate your voice. Well, now that feature works with AirPods, which is awesome. But the biggest feature with AirPods, which honestly just blew me away even more than the math and calculator features, is the option to simply shake your head yes or no if you want to answer a phone call. This is insane. So if you have the option for Siri to announce your phone calls turned on, when you have your AirPods in, Siri is going to say, you have a call from so-and-so. Do you want to answer it? And then if you simply nod your head yes, it is going to put you on that call. So you don't even have to say a word. This is an amazing feature, and I always love when Apple introduces these features that you just had no idea that they could do, that completely blow you away. And again, it's just one of those features that feels purely Apple. And when I was watching the event, I was getting really excited to show you all of the new features with Apple AI, or Apple Intelligence as they call it, but none of these new AI features are here on the iPhone. Even the new Siri animation is not in this update. You can see we still have the old Siri orb at the bottom of the screen, but rest assured, as soon as Apple Intelligence is available, I am gonna have a video that same day, so subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for that video in the future. So with all that said, I want to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. So let me know what your favorite new feature is in iOS 18. And if you enjoyed this video or found it entertaining or helpful, please drop a like, as it does help out the channel quite a bit. My name is Michael. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're installing iOS 18 on your iPhone, enjoy it, but be careful. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.